Yeah, beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Beat your addiction, live free. Ralf Friedrichs is who you see. Listen in when you're feeling low. Take back your life, today's show. Stay positive, hope, and keep faith. Stand strong against any odds that you face. Put away the alcohol and the drugs. Fill your time with the things you love. Addiction is tough, but it's worth the work. Treat your body what it's worth. Spread positivity, inspire all. If we stand together, we will never fall. I help others see the other sides of life. A sober life, letting go of the strife. So give me a call, I can help. 1-844-4405-HELP. Homeless shelters, hospitals, jails, wherever you are. I am Ralf Friedrichs and I am here for you. 1-844-405-HELP. Yeah, change your future, starts today. Live life to the fullest, never skip a day. Create hope, spread positivity. Beat your addictions and negativity. Ralf Friedrichs is here for you. Call today so we can help you. 1-844-405-HELP. 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 We are here for you. Call us today.
Hello, my name is Ralf Friedrichs. I'm an addiction recovery coach and the host of To Take Your Life Back Today show. As an addiction recovery coach, I want to share something with you. Let me be crystal clear to leave an everlasting impact upon you. Just imagine being buried alive. You're in a coffin, but you know you're not dead. You push the lid of the coffin up, it doesn't budge. It doesn't move because the dirt on top of the lid is just way too heavy. You just think, now you're going to die. But then you think about possibly banging on the coffin lid, and maybe, just maybe, you could unsettle the dirt and someone might notice and start digging their way down to help you. This is what it's like to find yourself at the lowest point of alcohol and drug addiction. You know you need help, you know you can't do it on your own, but you don't know where to turn. In reality, there are people standing by your grave, but you don't know that. You just think today you're going to die. Usually, though, people don't think about death when they're habitually abusing drugs and alcohol. In order to feed an addiction, you have to be great at repressing the fear of death. I often ask you, my audience, did it ever cross your mind by abusing drugs and alcohol that maybe, just maybe, you might overdose and take something that was preciously given by the Lord Jesus Christ, your life, away from earth, from yourself? Selfishly, you've taken your own life by abusing drugs and alcohol. But even more selfish is the fact that you're taking your life away from your loved ones, from your family, your friends, your children, your grandchildren. With this, let me just leave one last thought. Don't be like the person I'm reading about on these index cards that didn't get help when you needed the help the most. They waited and waited until it was too late. Instead, be a person that reaches out for help today, right now, at 844-405-HELP, and let me help you take your life back before your life is gone. There are people like Larry Geist from the Geist Academy. 516-458-2741. That's 516-458-2741. Larry Geist is an addiction recovery coach, a life coach. He will help you from your addiction to your recovery, from your low self-esteem to raise your self-esteem, from your depression to happier times. Larry Geist and I always tell people like you, my audience, it doesn't matter where you came from, it doesn't matter where you've been, it doesn't matter what you went through. What matters is that you're here and you're saying, Ralph, Larry, I need help. Can someone please help me? And then I'm going to extend my arm, just like Larry would. And we're going to pull you in and help you take your life back. Call Larry, 516-458-2741. You can Google him at www.odysseyconsultant.org. You can also Google me at www.takeyourlifebacktodaysshow.com. Larry Geist has over 30 years experience as a life coach, an addiction recovery coach. He, I promise you, will give you 100% of his attention to help you so you don't end up like this person on my index cards, in the coffin, alive, looking for help when it's too late. Larry Geist from the Geist Academy, 516-458-2741. Folks, I just want to tell you, I don't know how to stress enough to motivate you to seek the help. I don't know what I need to do except for to tell you, if you grab my hand, I'll help you. If you call me, I'll help you at 844-405-HELP. If you text me at 631-599-0218. If you email me at Ralf, R-A-L-F, at takeyourlifebacktodaysshow.com, I will motivate you enough to get the help that you have, that you so desperately need. Folks, this is not even a joke anymore, because if you wait too long, chances are it'll be too late. Do something about it. Do something today. Too many times have I seen people close to me, around me, fall apart. No matter how much I tried and motivate them, they fell apart. And it comes down to one issue and one issue only, and it's what's in here. If you have what it takes in here to get help, today is the day. Today is the day for you to get help. 844-405-HELP, and let me help you take your life back. Let me just check this phone. Folks, today's topic is motivating someone to seek help and looking after yourself at the same time. If you have a friend, a spouse, or a loved one that is out of control user, and you can say to them things like, here are some of our typical pleas. You have to stop using. You're going to kill yourself if you keep using. Your using is killing me. Your using is tearing this family apart, and so on. First of all, none of the above is actionable for the user. They are trapped in a cycle and probably can't even bring themselves to care about what the consequences are. Denial and addiction is the essential component of becoming addicted to drugs and alcohol. After all, none of us really like to admit we have a problem with anything, and the addictive process, this tendency becomes more pronounced. Denial is a major barrier in the way of overcoming alcoholism and drug addiction. An absolute essential for the first step is for the person to actually accept the fact that they have an issue, a problem. If they are able to reach this conclusion, then they are able, and they may become unable, to speaking to a professional in confidence. If they remain convinced that there isn't a problem, then it is highly unlikely that they will speak to anyone. They need to first realize that they do have a problem. The truth of the matter is, if you have very little verbal control over the user and you can't speak for them, things that they say have little control over them, it is the drugs and the alcohol that speaks. So what can we do? The healthiest decision you can make for yourself. That decision is for you to be healthy in the terms of your relationship to the user. There is nothing you can say that will make someone magically stop using. However, there are several things you can do. Some of what you can do involves verbalizing your intentions to the user. You can speak about your intentions, and not just speak about them, to follow through on it. Merely what you intended to do is giving their behavior or their using a second thought about using. At the same time, you can help the user to help themselves by showing that you plan on following through. Helping motivate someone you care about to seek help for their addiction. People nearly always need to make decisions for themselves. This is not just related to alcoholism and drug use, but in general, true in life. Someone is much more likely to want to do something if they feel it's on their own decision and their own to make. Here are some things that you never ever want to do or say to someone, but you want to hear them say it pretty much themselves. Never directly disagree with them. Rather walk away if you're about to disagree with them. Just let them think that they're right. Do not pretend that you agree with them either. Don't disagree, don't agree. Just leave it alone. In general, avoid making statements of fact. Do ask open-ended questions which deliver a response rather than simply yes or no, if you can. Closed questions requiring yes or no answer are still much better than making statements than themselves. Keep in mind the idea of what you are going to let the resistance wash over you. You're not going to become resistant or defensive yourself in response to the person's statements, but you are not going to give them a general answer. Here's an example of a bad response. I'll be the user. I've got stinking headache this morning. You, my audience, be the helper. Well, you'd say, well, you shouldn't drink so much. The user, what do you mean I drink too much? Helper, I mean you need to stop using. The helper has made statements which, although may be justified, are only likely to force the user to further go into denial. In this case, the user is likely to leave the conversation thinking, what rubbish, this person doesn't even know what they're talking about. Here's an example of a good response. I'll be the user and you be the helper again. User, I've got a stinking headache this morning. Helper, is it a bad one? User, I think I'd better take the day off. Helper, will they mind you taking the day off? User, they said it could be a disciplinary next time, didn't they? Helper, why's that? User, too many days sick. Helper, do you think you've taken too many days sick? This kind of response has completely avoided talking about alcohol and in generally avoided saying anything that could have been construed by the user as criticism from the helper. If the conversation ended there, then the user is more likely than not to leave the conversation thinking, I've taken too many sick days. Maybe I should really rethink the situation. Responsibility. If someone is going to make changes to their behavior, they must first accept their responsibility to make these changes and no one else's to make. Others may support and advise, but it is the person with the problem that has to take the ultimate responsibility for actually making those changes. This applies to most situations in life in general. If the using is causing problems, then these problems always bears the responsibility of the person using. Don't hinder. Remember that there are essentially only three possible outcomes between you and the user. They get help and stop using is one, you leave is the other, or the relationship continues with alcohol and drugs and the chaos. So you might stop and do some thinking, long-term thinking. Do you really want the same situation, say, let's say 10 years from now, given the possibility outcomes that are essentially only three things you can say to the user? Keep using. I'm leaving. Get help next Tuesday, or I am leaving. Set a deadline. Let's take a closer look at the third option, which is setting limits and boundaries. Unfortunately, many people are not in the position to make an ultimatums. They might be thinking that they are holding them back to doing so. There are two steps in overcoming these types of fears that hold you back. The first step is build self-esteem. Second one is to find support outside the dysfunctional relationship. If and when you decide to make a healthy decision to stop madness, you will then have to determine exactly what's acceptable and move forward. Decide on your boundaries and set the limits. Decide on what your limits are, then discuss them with the user. Your limit might not be leaving, but rather, I'm not going to bail you out of jail the next time you get arrested. Don't make it about them. It's about you staying healthy. It's about you being number one. The limit you set should directly reduce the amount of chaos that you experience due to their using. Isn't there some other way to change someone's behavior? No, there isn't. Consider the following through experiment. Say you enjoy taking walks in the park each and every day. The weather is nice, it's good exercise, and you have plenty of extra time for these walks. But then, someone in your life demands that you stop taking these daily walks. You resist. Conflict ensues. You think to yourself, I should be able to keep taking my walks each and every day if I wanted to. That is the exact same reaction a user has when you tell them to stop using. But you say, using is so bad for them and it's destroying their life. My walks are healthy for me. That doesn't matter. Just because you think you know it's best for someone, it doesn't make a big difference. It all has to do with a little something called free will. You wouldn't let someone else control you, so what makes you think they want to be controlled? Addiction is not logical. Alcoholism and drug addiction isn't logical. Therefore, the user will not listen to reason. They will not hear your well-planned arguments about why they should seek help and stop using. You can promise them the world and it wouldn't matter one bit to them. They are trapped. They are stuck. They cannot hear your arguments until they are ready to hear and they open their ears, which may be too late for your relationship, possibly for their own life. However, there's always hope, and using the right approach can help you move the user towards accepting responsibilities quickly. Motivating to seek help for addiction. Final thoughts. Try to remember the following essential principles in your interaction with your loved ones. Number one, people need to make their own decisions. Support, but do not order, bully, or beg. Number two, never directly disagree with the person, but do not pretend that you agree either with them. Number three, ask questions. Avoid statements. Number 4, try to highlight inconsistencies in statements made in a way that does not endanger the feeling of resistance in the person that you're trying to help or by calling them a liar. Number 4, roll with resistance. Number 5, demonstrate empathy and concern. Try to avoid outright sympathy or criticism. Number 6, don't rush it. Bide your time and wait for your spontaneous response. Number 8, but remember what you need to feel safe, and sometimes you have to make hard decisions such as leaving to protect your sanity. Number 9, accept the user's using is driven by subconscious influences. Number 10, allow the natural consequences of their using behavior to happen, neither help nor hinder them. Last but not least, try to avoid taking on the role of professional helper, which you're not. Phone us for advice or for professional intervention by calling 844-405-HELP, or you can call Larry at 516-458-2741. Folks, this is pretty simple the way it has to be. You need to motivate. You need to motivate the user. They don't have to drive to do themselves. Motivate them. As much as I want to motivate you from continue watching my videos by making it more interesting, motivate the user. Yet don't criticize, don't judge, and most importantly, don't try to start an argument. I hope this segment was good. I hope you have a great day. I hope and pray that you all have a sober rest of your life, and may God bless each and every one of you.
Yeah, change your future, it starts today. Live life to the fullest, never skip a day. Create hope, spread positivity. Beat your addictions and negativity. Ralf Friedrichs is here for you. Call today so we can help you. 1-844-405-HELP. 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 We are here for you. Call us today. show is over, but your life starts today. Taking back your life's the only way. Keep faith, stay positive, push through. Take back your life, it starts with you. Alcohol and drugs can't control your life. Let go of the negative and the strife. Ralf Friedrichs is the man guiding your way. The show is over, but your life starts today. Call Ralf Friedrichs at 1-844-405-HELP. That's 1-844-405-HELP. We hope you love the show today and tune in next time. Take Back Your Life Today show with Ralf Friedrichs. Yeah.